Go ahead, Kimmy. I'm Jamie Fitzwater, and I run the Kentucky Double Dollars program here at Community Farm Alliance.
Awesome. So we are so excited today. So we have been having some guest speakers in our working group. So if you've been attending the Ag and Food Systems working group, we've had some really good speakers there. And
Um,
sorry, I hope I'm not cutting up because I'm getting feedback. But we're so excited to have a guest speaker today to talk about Kentucky Double Dollars and how it feeds children and adults alike. So we're super excited to have Jamie Fitzwater here. She introduced herself, for Community Farm Alliance. So yeah, I'm going to turn it over to her, and at the end we'll have Q&A. And if it's okay with her, we can put stuff in the chat as well as she goes along. And we'll do that, and then we'll have some updates at the end. So yeah, Jamie, turn it over to you.
Awesome. Hoping I can share my screen here. All right, so I'm looking at the list of people on this call, and I'm feeling like a lot of you are probably familiar with our program of Kentucky Double Dollars. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you a super brief summary and then talk about what's going to be changing this year and how we can actually use your support in the program. So, Kentucky Double Dollars was formed with this goal of building healthier families and stronger communities by increasing access to local food for low income populations and sales and income stability for Kentucky farmers. The way that we do this is through a program that has four parts. The first part is that, they're all nutrition incentive programs, but we match SNAP fruits and vegetables. And then we have a separate program where we also match SNAP funds with meat, eggs, and dairy from Kentucky farmers. And then the other two programs that we utilize are the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, which we match, and the WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program. So all of those different kind of prongs of our program take place at either farmers markets, at like fresh stop or community markets, and then a few brick and mortar retail stores. So in 2023, we were in a total of 57 farmers markets around the state, which actually encompasses a lot more physical locations, and then 4 community markets and 3 retail stores. So since 2017, we've had over $3 million in economic impact throughout the state, which is a lot that has gone to support Kentucky farmers and hungry families. So is everybody familiar with the program or have any questions about the program before I move forward? Because I'm kind of like glossing over since I'm thinking a lot of you know about it.
Do you work with programs like Black Soil?
So we don't work with black soil specifically. At one time, I do think that they were part of our program as one of our like fresh stop markets. But then I think their funding sources changed, and so they're no longer in our program because they have their own separate funding. But it's definitely possible for us to work with those sorts of locations.
Cool. I just wonder because it was in another conversation today, somebody was mentioning to me that they knew a lot of Black farmers that didn't participate in farmers markets because of white supremacy culture. And so just kind of wonder how we get around that to include them.
Yeah, that's a great point, and we're definitely open to alternative models of reaching people and customers where they are. Yes, Kimmy?
Yeah, I wanted just to touch on this because, and a kind of question, maybe you can speak on it. So you said that it also encompasses the seniors and the WIC as well, but some people might not know that the WIC is not available in Jefferson County. Is that correct? Where even though they do have they accept WIC at the farmers market, they do not double up there.
That is correct. So it's an ongoing problem that no WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Program vouchers are issued within Jefferson County. I don't think that there's been an official, like, written reason, but the unofficial reason that people have been told is that if they issued WIC vouchers in Jefferson County, that it would take the whole state budget. Um, I am not in a position to comment on the accuracy of that, but I do think it's problematic that a single county is, singled out and excluded from the program. And I think there's been a lot of conversations about how to resolve that with people who are much, much smarter than I. Martin did mention in the chat that the Farmers Market Support Program at CFA does a lot of trainings around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and building those in farmers markets in the hopes that we can break down some of those barriers for folks participating in markets and also reduce instances of discrimination for all sorts of participants from the customer level to the vendor level.
Yeah, I just do want to say that, yeah, Robin speaking on that as well, and we can get information to you, but that group also did an anti-racist toolkit for farmers markets as well, and things like that they've been working on. So really great to point that out about white supremacy in farmers markets. But yeah, there is things being done for that some people might not know.
All right. If we don't have any more questions about that, I can move on here. So I kind of want to outline, since so many of you are familiar with the program, and I'm so sorry that my dog has decided to growl throughout this entire presentation, despite me like trying to hush him.
How dare you do anything but pay attention to him?
I know I don't know if
Rude.
it's voices or, if I lock him out, he'll just scratch the door the whole time. All right, so where we're going for 2024 through 2026, we were just awarded. Oh my goodness, I'm seriously gonna put the dog outside because now it's making the other dogs.
It's totally fine.
Oh, critters.
They're the best. My dog does it constantly.
I'm so embarrassed. Okay, but
It's
we were
fine.
just awarded 1.3 million from GusNIP to expand our program from starting this year through the end of 2026. So we're really excited to make some big changes and start some, kind of keep expanding. And here the kind of want to show you the ways that will be different from the past iterations of Kentucky Double Dollars. And I think the biggest way is expanding our retail. So our work, obviously, we started out with farmers markets. That's kind of where our heart is. But we've realized to be more inclusive, more accessible to more people who actually would utilize the program, that maybe feel threatened or like farmers markets are overpriced, that sort of thing, that retail locations are the way to do that. So we'll be adding a minimum of 10 retail locations that have more hours that they're open and more accessibility for customers. So that we'll continue to support farmers markets. We're not doing away with that side of the program, but we are doing expanding through retail. We'll be directing our new funds towards Kentucky's most vulnerable populations. And that means when we do our grant process that we'll prioritize expansion in West Louisville and Eastern Kentucky, because those are the areas that we have identified that have some of the highest SNAP usage and also the lowest access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Another thing that we're doing, in the past, we've had the KDD Advisory Council that has kind of shaped and informed the program. And it's been kind of like made up of partners and other folks who have input. But we've completely reconfigured that, and it will now be made up of people who actually are using the program. So we'll have a representative from a farmer's market, like a market manager, we'll have like a farmer, but we'll also have, it'll be 11 people total, but 6 of those people will be folks with lived SNAP and KDD experience. So we're really excited. Yeah, Kimmy, that's correct. Retail locations will also have to buy from local farmers. But we're really excited to take input from folks who are on the ground and using this program and take that into making a better program all around. So that is one really change for 2024. That's not my dog, that's someone else's dog. Um, all right, and then we're also going to improve our program evaluation with SEDIC, which that's kind of more of the background that kind of the back end of how the program operates. You'll probably never see how our program evaluation has improved, but we've also added new KDD staff members um, to help implement the program and improve the program. And so all the kind of magic behind the scene things will also be improved through this. SEDIC is the Center for Economic Development in Kentucky, and they're at the University of Kentucky, and they are a research partner because GusNIP funding is actually a research grant. So part of that research is figuring out how people are using the program, how it's affecting their health outcomes, that sort of thing. So SEDIC are the folks who do that with us. Another big part of the program this year is we hope to expand the number of farmers markets who are accepting SNAP. We need a lot more markets in the program to reach our goals. So that means onboarding programs who might already be accepting like WIC or senior vouchers, but haven't made the leap to accepting SNAP benefits. So we'll be guiding farmers markets through that process of making their markets more accessible to SNAP customers and getting their FNS number and all those sorts of things that can be problematic for markets.
I'm sorry if I missed this. Did you say what SEDIC stands for?
Yeah, it's the Center for Economic Development in Kentucky. I hope
Okay.
I'm getting that right. I'm sure Martin will tell me if I'm wrong.
Community Economic Development Initiative of Kentucky.
Oh, the initiative. I got the initiative wrong. Okay. That's only mildly embarrassing. All right. And so the next part of our program that is different this year is our community partner network. And I'm going to talk about that here more in a minute because that's where I'm hoping that some of the folks in KFAN can get involved with KDD directly and provide support for our program. So that's what I'm going to talk about next. So the KDD Partner Network will meet twice a year on Zoom with folks who have direct contact with participants of the program. So if you are a library or a health department or some sort of nonprofit that works with folks who could utilize KDD, you would meet with us twice a year in the group and be trained on our program so that you can share that information with others. We would also provide social media posts, printed materials, that sort of thing for you to distribute to your participants. We can also provide trainings for your staff, maybe in person if you already have like a set staff time, or we can do virtual trainings that are completely dedicated to KDD, just really whatever works with your system. But we really want to help your staff understand our program and be able to share it with other folks. And you can also share that with other colleagues who might not know about the program because, you know, as hard as we work to get the word out, I think our biggest hurdle at KDD is getting folks, you know, letting people know about what we offer and where we offer it. Will also, your time in these trainings and that sort of thing will be used as grant match on our grant funds. So it's really important for us to get as many partners as we can so that we can get the word out, but also so we can have that match. So if you think that that's something that might be of interest to your organization, you can contact me directly. At the end of the slides, I'll show you my contact information. And I'm also, you know, on all the KFAN directories and that sort of thing, but you can definitely just contact me. It's, you know, my goal is for it to be a really low time commitment for you, but also to provide information that will actually be useful to your organization. Community members are also welcome to join or attend the training if they want to be more aware of the program and be able to share about it with others. Absolutely. There's not really a limit of who can come and participate. Another way that you can help us, pretty soon we are going to be posting our application announcements because our program is a competitive grant process to join as a KDD location. And so when you see that post on CFA's page, if you could share that on your own networks or to outlets who might be interested, that includes farmers markets, community markets, retail stores, it would be great if you could share that with them. That's like one big way to help us. Another way is if you know a potential retail location who is already sourcing Kentucky Proud products or would be willing to source Kentucky Proud products to participate in our program, please let me know, particularly as it relates to retail, because I think that's going to be a lot harder for us to recruit new locations for. So like if there's a corner store near you that you think might be a good fit, or one that you've already worked with in your work, like telling me directly so that I can reach out to them and try to cultivate that relationship as opposed to just sending them a link, is actually probably the better way to get them on board. Same thing with farmers markets. We have so many markets in our program, but incredibly, there are still so many that aren't. So if your local farmers market is not in the program, please, please, please let us know so that we can reach out to them and talk them into applying. So it's kind of, with farmers markets, there is some match commitment, and there is like one big hurdle is staff time. So it can be daunting to join, but we're here to help them and encourage them and give them the resources that they need to give it a try. So if there are other ways that you think that we could work together, either to support Kentucky Double Dollars, or if Kentucky Double Dollars can somehow support the work that you're doing, I would love to hear from you and help you out in any way that we can. We're always looking for new partnerships. Here is my email and phone number. So you're welcome to call or email either one with any of those sorts of things that I've talked about. And then if anybody has any direct questions, because I know I talk very fast, you can go ahead and let me know.
Can you go back a couple of slides? Because there was something, and it might jog my memory. Maybe this the next one. Sorry.
No, that's okay. All right.
Yes. Yes. So no, it's fine. I remembered.
Okay.
The information on the bottom about applying, can you give us access, or can you send out this slide to Robin or I to send out in the email for the follow-up to this? Because like I'm giving a presentation for the Thrive Coalition in Paducah like in a couple weeks, and that deadline, I mean, I was looking on the maps because I was looking for a presentation, and there's none in Paducah. The closest one is Bowling Green. So I was thinking I wanted to bring this up, but now that I know that there's deadline, it's competitive, I can let them know during that presentation what to do and those resources for that.
Yeah, I can put together even something better that has like, because right now we have a link on the Kentucky Double Dollars website, which I should have put in this presentation, where you can put your name on the wait list. You can be notified when the grant is released. So I'll put together like just a slide or something that has more details for you and everyone else.
That would be great. That's really good information, because honestly, like, I don't know others, but like when I talk to other people or even legislators and I talk to them about Kentucky Double Dollars, and they say like, oh, I want my market in there. Or like I even had a legislator whose daughter works at, I think, the Harrodsburg or somewhere near Lexington at that farmer's market. And she was like, they need to get in there, and I don't know that information, that like it's super competitive and there's a wait list, and these are the dates that you can apply. You can start applying. Would be really good to know.
Yeah, and I will say, our competitiveness varies based on our funding availability. And in 2024, I feel like we have a lot of funding. So I think there's a lot of room to let in a lot of markets that maybe in the past have applied and haven't been able to get in. So
Yeah,
I'll
that would
have
be
to put that together for you.
Thanks. Does anybody else have any questions for Jamie or about the Double Dollars program? about participating or being a participant? All right. I know she did a great job, and this is great information. I think it's one of oh, Martin. Go ahead.
How does how does Kentucky Double Dollars actually work, like at a farmer's market or at a retail? If you're a SNAP participant, how does it work?
Sure. So, these programs are set up differently around the country. And in Kentucky, we found that the model that works best for us is like at a retail store, for example, a participant can spend $10 on any product with their SNAP benefits. So in other states, they have to already get a match. But in Kentucky, we simply ask that they spend $10 on anything with their SNAP card. And then we provide them with 10 additional dollars towards Kentucky fruits and vegetables.
You cut out a little bit there for a second. Did you say that in other states the initial $10 had to be spent on what?
On fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So, yeah, so they already have to be buying fruits and vegetables, but in Kentucky, they can buy anything. They can go buy like frozen pizzas for $10, and then we will provide them with $10, a $10 coupon or a discount, depends on the location, towards Kentucky grown fruits and vegetables. And it's the same way at the farmers market. They have to spend, the farmers market is $12 on anything with their SNAP benefits that is eligible, of course, for SNAP. And then we provide an additional $12 in fruits and vegetables, or we do an additional $8 for meat, eggs, and dairy as well. So depending on the location, some markets don't participate in both programs if they don't have those products available. But so as long as customers spend that initial amount with their benefits, then we match that towards Kentucky products.
How did that end up different? I really like that they can spend $10 on anything. I've been reading a lot about like the arguments against expanding SNAP and similar programs because people aren't spending it entirely on fruits and veggies and kind of like the judgment of the individual consumer based on what they're buying. So it's interesting that Kentucky is different.
Well, so I was not there when we formed the program, but I think it was kind of a value calculation of getting the most people to utilize the program. And I can tell you from our experience of giving folks the free fruits and vegetables that even just giving it to them, most people don't utilize the program. They take the coupon and they throw it away because they don't want the fruits and vegetables. Our hardest issue, especially at retail, is getting folks to actually utilize the program. Obviously, if somebody's already at the farmer's market, they're probably already in that mindset of like, this is a place I come for vegetables. But at retail, it's been a lot harder to get people to utilize the program. So I think if we limited it to only matching fruit and vegetable purchases, we would have a much harder time spending down, getting our funds utilized.
Mhm.
Kentucky ranks very, very low in the country. I don't want to say we're the lowest, but we're definitely in the very bottom of states in terms of consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables, which every time I share those statistics, I'm like, how many fruits and vegetables have I eaten today?
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. Do you partner with any type of locations that offer like cooking education or recipes or anything like that to increase people's like understanding of what to do with the products?
So some of our markets and our fresh shop markets do that independently. Like it's not a requirement of accepting or offering KDD. But some of our places do that on their own. This year, and part of our GusNIP award is that we are partnering with UK's nutrition education program, and so we're hoping through that partnership to perhaps utilize some more educational component to what we're doing. Martin wants to ask if meat, eggs, and dairy will ever be available at retail. That is something we're piloting right now at Locals Food Hub in Frankfurt. So we're hoping in the long term to also offer meat, eggs, and dairy at our retail locations.
Let me set you up on that, Jamie. on that question, right? But that's what makes the Healthy Farm and Food Innovation Fund so important. By building that fund up, potentially, that the meat, eggs, and dairy could be also KDD eligible at retail. And I say that because the USDA GusNIP grant only supports SNAP fruits and vegetables. The WIC, the seniors, the meat, eggs, and dairy are coming from state funding, currently right now from the Kentucky Ag Development Fund.
Yeah, I was about to say for that, where Kentucky is unique in that we offer meat, eggs, and dairy. With that, like most states who do or have double up bucks, a lot of them are like double up bucks programs, is just fruits and vegetables. But you know, Kentucky is one of the top beef producers on this side of the Mississippi, one of the top poultry states as well. So yeah, it's kind of sets Kentucky apart too. And like Martin said, it's actually funded through state funds as well. And yay for SNAP education. Yes, yes, Rosie. Yeah, Jamie, and I found that stat because actually I used it the other day in the HIFIF training to talk about how needed are these programs, that we only consume about 2 or more fruits and vegetables a day, 2 to 3 daily, which is really terrible. So yeah.
And Chelsea brought up here in the comments a really good point that like fresh fruits and vegetables go bad fast. And so for people that are working a lot and have families to take care of and are just super busy, it's really easy for several days to pass. And, you know, you've bought all this produce and you didn't prepare it in time. And it feels terrible to throw food away and to throw that money away. So yeah, there's a lot of compounding factors for why we don't eat a lot of fruits and veggies.
And we're completely aware of those and always thinking about ways around, you know, another big barrier for us is transportation to the locations that have the fruits and vegetables. You know, there's just so many things that prevent people, and we're always thinking creatively about how we can help solve those problems. But, you know, it's a big lift. So we're hoping to always be moving forward on problem solving those sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many barriers, which is great for all the other programs that are going on currently in Kentucky to help hopefully address these, and maybe this program can grow and become better. All right, and just big thank you to Jamie, and we'll get that recording and the slides out to everyone for you all to access, and we can have all that great information she shared today.